Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Roger's Reflections on Wednesday, August 19th in the year 2020. We continue with our dive into the Psalms today. And one of the things I love about the Psalms of David is they cover the gamut. They go from praise to lament, from doubt to joy, and everywhere in between. They truly represent the breadth of human emotions and the struggles and the rejoicing that we deal with our own lives and then our relationship with God. And so you're going to hear a lot of different stuff over these next couple of weeks dealing with the Psalms. And so I'm going to kind of pick and choose things that kind of reach out to me and touch me, and hopefully they'll be a blessing to you as well. So today I'm going to be reading the 8th Psalm. There are just 9 verses, so I'll be reading the whole thing. And for some of you, I think this may be familiar, but hear now the word of the Lord. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. Through the praise of children and infants, you have established a stronghold against your enemies, to silence the foe and the avenger. When I consider your heavens, the work of your hands, the moon and the stars where you have put into place, what is mankind, what is humanity that you are mindful of us, human beings that you care for them. You have made us a little lower than the angels and crowned us with glory and honor. You have made us rulers over the works of your hands and put everything under our feet. All flocks and herds and the animals of the wild, the birds in the sky, the fish in the sea, and all that swim the paths of the sea. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. I love this. This describes two things. One, it describes the incredible beauty of God's creation and how the creation that we see was created with a purpose, created specifically for certain things, and that the beauty that we find, that we discover in nature, was put there for a purpose. It is not accidental. God understood exactly what he was doing and does that. And the other thing is, what's interesting is that this is not really a conversation, but just a declaration of the place of humanity in God's creation. And it is both a rejoicing of the joy, or not really joy, but rejoicing of the place, how high we are, what God has entrusted us with, I guess. It is both a celebration of the place of God, but also a realization of the humility of human beings in relation to all of creation. We do have a certain place, and we do have a certain responsibility over the creation that we see on the earth. But just remember, as we're told elsewhere, God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and for him 1,000 years is like a day, and a day is like 1,000 years. When we start thinking, when we get so full of ourselves and how good we are, it is helpful to think of all that God has created, the thousands and thousands of stars and galaxies, the billions upon billions of life forms that are out there in the universe, and that God chose and created us for such a purpose. It is humbling, to say the least, but it is also it makes you feel proud that God has entrusted us with the purpose that he has placed on our lives. Each of us has a purpose. Each of us has a call. And so God has entrusted you. God created you, created me for such a time as this. God created us with a purpose. In all of creation, there's no one else who has a purpose quite like yours. There are people who have similar purposes, but you have the opportunity to influence people that no one else can influence. You have the opportunity to make a difference right exactly where you are. We just need to listen. We need to obey, and we need to lay it in God's hands and know that He will bless us. That's what this psalm says. God has chosen to use humanity to be a blessing, and we are grateful for that. Thanks a lot, my friends. We'll talk to you tomorrow.